let's look at the fiber laser cutting machine with the heavy bed. The machine body is made of the casting steel plates, and it is the integrated part, not have any empty area. So this type of the body is very heavy, stable, and have good rigidity and high strength. The process step is, firstly, we use 32 mm thickness steel plates for welding, and second, milling it with large-scale numerical mini machine. Third, quenching process, put it into the stove, burned to eliminate the mechanical hard force. It can avoid deformation for long time using. 4. Pre-adjustment, adjust the water level and the right angle before assemble to ensure the high accuracy of the machine. And now let's check the thickness of the steel. You can see the thickness of the steel is 33 mm, very heavy and stable. The right side of the thickness is about 12 mm. That means the plate is about 12 mm. The up, down, left, and right is all the same. So you can see this thickness is double than the economic type, as the economic type just used 6.5 mm square pipe. And now let's looking at the cross beam. The cross beam is also made by the steel plate, but the economic type just made by aluminium alloy. The thickness of the steel plate is about 17 mm. The beam steel plate is only a support roller, while the top of the whole face of the guide plate is about 17 mm thickness steel plate. The whole cross beam thickness is about 30 mm. It made also by a complete steel plate, so it is also an integrated forming parts. Now you see the black area. All the black area is an integrated part, not any screw on it. The white area you see the 4 screws here is just the cover of the dust cover. It's the connection parts of the dust cover. It's not the and when you push it, you can see you cannot push it at all because it is very strong. The thickness is 13 mm, 17 mm. You can see this is the 70 mm thickness of the plate, and that means the cross beam is made also by a steel plate, and the steel plate is 17 mm thickness. It's very, very, very strong and very, very stable. The whole black part is the integrated part, no any screw in it. And now we take a look at the exhaust plate. Here is the exhaust plate. In the processing of cutting, it can absorb the dust and the powder and some smoke. Here the exhaust plate snout cannot be opened too much. Otherwise, some small parts will be easily fall down into it. So it cannot be taken out. So the plate groove must be a small hole and very thin. The wind can be pulled out and parts can fall down into the button. In the center of the hollow position is the drawer. The cutting working pieces can fold on the drawer below and put it with a small tailor. Now let's look at the loading foot. The machine has 3 loading foots in total. The function of the foot is to support the whole weight of the machine. If the weight of the machine is very light, it won't need the metal foot. It can use the plastic plate instead. But the heavy machine body requires metal loading foot. And also the foot can keep the machine balanced, since the machine is very large. So we use the iron foot to avoid damage to the ground. We used 6 foot to disperse the pressure of the machine. Now we check the thickness. The thickness of the plate is 8 mm, and the bottom side of the thickness is 25 mm. The main advantage of this body is without welding slots, which is the integrated forming parts. Now let's take a look at the working platform. The working platform, we use 3 mm thickness of carbon steel plates. It has very long lifetime, and it can be used for 8 months to 1 year without replacement. While some other supplier also, they will use very thin, just 1 mm thickness plates. You can see here is 3 mm. But other supplier will use 1 mm thickness plates. As it is very thin, the replacement frequency would be very quick. Just 1 or 2 months, you should replace all the working platform. So it have extra cost to the user. So because after long time using, the laser will hit the top points of the working table, and it is easy to burn. So if all the corners of the knife burned, the plate is easy to get down, and the laser will also get down, so the cutting precision cannot be ensured. So in the choice of the working platform, we will use 3 mm carbon steel plates in our standard type. Now we see is the dust cover. Our dust cover is made of the fire retardant material with a very good quality. In fact, in order to cut down the cost, many other suppliers will choose the dust cover made by artificial laser. But it is very easy to making hole and very easy to break off. So because the laser cut the spray, the laser cutting spark easy to make the hole in the artificial laser surface or even burn the dust cover. Now what we see is the Taiwan guide rail. This guide rail is imported by the Taiwan Haiwing brand. Actually, in China, 99% of Chinese supplier will use Taiwan Haiwing supplier.